Dear Venerable Sir, Dhamma friends, this time we allocated for question and answers, so I will just give a briefing so that everyone can get an idea. If you have any unquestionable one or not clear one pertaining to your 8 precepts, if you have any doubt or clarity, lack of clarity regarding the instructions given on meditation, walking, sitting and day-to-day, if you have any question or difficulties regarding the day-to-day timetable and the rules and regulations, please take it up and discuss here instead of discussing each other. And in addition to that, if you have any related questions regarding your sitting meditation, walking meditation, day-to-day activities with mindfulness, also part and parcel of this discussion. So you can either write your question in a piece of paper, or you can just talk to the audience, and then I will try my best to answer the question. And that is the brief introduction I would like to give. So if you have anything, any question or statement or suggestion or topic, welcome. If you need, I can give the mic. Yes.
A question. So there are 3 things, Atapi, Sampajanya, Satima. When you do the walking meditation, what is Sampajanya?
So I am repeating the question for the benefit of everyone. There are 3 Pali terms, Atapi, Sampajano, Satima. The Atapi means with the person with that ardent energy. Sampajano means have the clear comprehension about what he or she is doing. Satima is the person who is with mindfulness. So how can we apply these 3 terms to walking meditation? That's the question. So Atapi means person with the initial launching energy. He or she is already renounced, or with the idea of renunciation, that is to getting rid of the sensuous pleasure. Instead, try to go toward the renunciation, so that part must be already achieved to become Atapi. Atapi means already started, already with energy. Initial energy is already there. Launching energy is already there. Sampajano, it is more relevant to walking meditation than sitting meditation. Sampajanya means, whenever you have posture junctions, from sitting to stand, and standing to walk, left to the right, right to the left, and you go to the end of the walking path, and while you are turning, how much you are skillful to maintain the already earned mindfulness amidst of the junction, amidst of the changing of the posture. So that is called sitting posture, standing posture, walking posture, and lying down is called cardinal postures, the main 4. When they are changing from one to the other, 1001 posture junctions. It's called Iriyapata Sandhi. When that is happening, usually the beginners are losing mindfulness, so they wish to be stand still and to be mindful. When it's walking, you have to change the leg to the right to the left to the right, and then go there, stand still and turn and come back. When everything happens, how much you can maintain the already earned mindfulness, that is what you call Sampajanya. in a little detailed way. And Satima is that particular person already knows the value of here and now, the value of being here and now. And he or she must have fair amount of understanding, fair amount of experience, theoretically, practically, about the mindfulness. So whenever the task, whenever the posture becomes dramatic, eventful, Atapi Sampajano Satima become very dramatic, very challengeful. It's like adventurous or radical. So many lay yogis fail in their meditation endeavors because they underestimate walking meditation. They think meditation means sitting and closed eyes and cross-legged. Ultimately they develop lack of energy, lack of appetite and lack of sleepiness. If you wish to have the dynamism, you must have equal amount of walking meditation. So you develop appetite, you develop energy, and you have a very sound sleep, and then refreshing yourself. So walking meditation in that sense is very important, but the question is not pertaining to the benefits of the walking meditation, is how can we use Atapi Sampajano Satima. So Atapi Sampajano Satima is very important when you are doing walking meditation and you are doing in day-to-day activities. It's like relay race. When you are passing the baton from one person to the other, it must be passed swiftly without sacrificing the already earned lead. The quick transferring one to the other is a challengeful one rather than one single person is running. So this is being introduced only by Buddha. Not a single any teacher given that unlucky enough present-day meditators hardly give value for the walking meditation, and therefore a lot of questions, a lot of problems, and a lot of difficulties in sustainability in the meditation.
If something disturbance happens while we are doing the walking meditation, then how can we do what we have to do?
Can you please cite an example, please?
For example, if something falls on my leg, or if there are some tiny insects, they come and bite on the hand, at that kind of disturbance, you have to stop and what is the correct way of doing?
So when you are met up with difficulties and biting or pricking something, you become very alert or you become lethargic?
Once a little tiny thing poke on my leg, and at that moment all my concentration was on there at that point. And when again a small insect came to my hand, and it's also kind of little tiny poke kind of thing. Then also all my mentality came to that point.
It's a sign of progress of mindfulness, or it's a question for mindfulness?
While I'm doing the walking meditation, so at that point I have to stop and what we have to do.
So my question is, before happening this kind of alertness, adverting power directly go to that point, is it a progress of mindfulness, or it's a question for or impediment for mindfulness?
I think it's a question.
Pardon? So if it is so, you will never understand mindfulness. Mindfulness is increasing alertness, increasing the diverting power, adverting power. So when that mishappens, you are 100% mindful. So if you are going to say it's a question or it's a disturbance, you will never allow your mindfulness to open. I have another video film that's of the mindful school. The story, one little girl is explaining her while you are walking, what you feel in your feet, ant bites, or any disturbance happen, you have to be aware. That awareness can be as a threat, or as an endowment, or as a progress. So if you are going to make a problem out of that, if you are going to consider this as an impediment or distraction, that means you have to define mindfulness rather than asking what to do about that. Thing has already happened. You are turn your alertness, vigilance, diligent, and let all the ants come and bite you. Ready? Understand? So not enough ants, not enough insects, not enough thing to prick your whole cell in your leg. Then you will be full alert, you will be fully mindful. So go prepared. We are very conservative. We love our body too much. The body is to understand the sensitivity. What happens, how it interact with the nature, the climate, insects and rough grounds, and then you develop that kind of alertness. So that's a function of mindfulness. So you have to put it into a proper interpretation that we call preparedness. Go prepared. Anything happen, our body knowledge give the attention, proper attention whenever threat happens. So you must understand, you must have so much of capacity already built in your body. Whenever something happens, whether you direct your attention or not, attention goes there. And if you are appreciating it, you'll be a good Boy Scout or Girl Guide, prepare for anything. So if you are going to be a nun and be in the forest, then you have to go prepared. There are no insurance, there are no ambulance, there are no doctors, there are no any kind of thing. You have to be with your impact as well as the body defense system. And it is an endowment in a human being. Our body knows what to do whenever it happens, so we have to interpret it in such a way so that we are diversifying the mindfulness and make the mindfulness very alert and diligent. So, now are you happy to rephrase the question again now?
No.
But the question. Bhante, now when we are in a retreat or in meditation session or something, we naturally get some energy from the teacher and everybody else to practice mindfulness. But then when we go back to our day life, sometimes it's very difficult to practice the mindfulness so that the defilements come, they accumulate. And sometimes we drive through those defilements that kind of control our actions and so forth. So Bhante, do you have any advice or suggestions or qualities that we have to cultivate that would be helpful to maintain the mindfulness practice in day-to-day life too?
I would say like this: to be mindfulness intact, to be mindfulness to be continuous, the microclimate and the macroclimate is very important. For the beginners, microclimate is sitting posture. Don't do anything, just look at, just be alert, be aware what is happening in the present moment. That's the maximum microclimate. Macroclimate wise, you have to go to the forest, sit under a tree or go to a silent place. They are very important for a beginner. That's why the Buddha says, if you are going to do a serious operation, you must go to an operation theatre. You can't do it in the kitchen. You can't do it in the toilet. The theatre is very important. Sometimes the Sri Lankan has to go to Singapore or other places because the theatre. Because theatre is disinfected, assured. Nurse, the clothes, the equipment, the doctor, and every atmosphere is disinfected, otherwise you can't cut open. So therefore microclimate is very expensive. Very expensive. So it is going in a disadvantageous situation for the beginner. The beginner must always give the conducive condition as much as possible till the seed get germinated and open and gain certain amount of hardiness to the normal sun and the rain. That area, you have to give the maximum condition as much as possible. Once it is started, the momentum, slowly hardening process is happening. Hardening process, even under the adverse situation, little bit of acclimatization and adjusting to the situation can happen. It is not in the case of a beginner. Beginner again and again, just to give a nursery conditions, just like a nursery of plants or young children like. So that is what we are talking about. But if you understand, it is easy to earn mindfulness but difficult to protect it. Uttana sampada, arakka sampada. Our problem is protection. Because we have already introduced, here and there we can earn it, but we can't. It is just like keeping a petrol or ether in a cup like this. It just get rectified and evaporated, gone. So if you are keeping petrol, you are keeping ether, you are keeping alcohol, it must be kept in the bottle and lock and fasten. Otherwise you can't keep it. So we are very efficient in earning mindfulness, we are utterly inefficient in protecting it. That's the situation in the lay people. Even the monks, if you are not leading such a life, you may not be conserving or maintaining it. To maintain, it's not a Montessori class, it's advanced level classes, higher education classes. Once you earn, you have to understand that earned money, if you are spending in a luxurious way, on consumerizing way, you are ruining your money. It must be spent very thriftily, very conservatively. Likewise, when you earn mindfulness, you must try to give the conducive conditions, so much so, your family members should not recognize that you are mindful. That is very difficult. You must practice, you must be a meditator, you must never declare that I am a meditator. You must hide it from the sensuous beings. When you are living with the sensuous being, live up to their vibration and consider it as a punishment. You are going parties and going trips and going gatherings and talking and shouting and all the kind of thing, you are utterly going against mindfulness. Then you can say that is not the problem of outsiders, it is your valuation of your own mindfulness. So when I was exposed to the mindfulness in 1978, Venerable Dhammika is an Australian monk, and in the beginning he so hesitated to give me the mindfulness, telling that you fellows are useless, you are spending, you are so luxurious, you are so consumerization, you don't know how to preserve mindfulness. So I told, don't talk about nonsense, please give me first. No use, giving is very easy, but you don't know how to preserve. And he gave me 3 rules of thumb. Don't marry, don't do a job, don't tell anyone that you are meditating. These are the loopholes. Your pressure gets released. Marriage life, you are committed with another partner. You have children, you have responsibilities. So you may be too late now, but I am just talking. And whenever you go to a job, a person like me have all the skills. The boss will exploit me, giving money, and ultimately I will be open prison camp inmate. I know it, I did 6 years. And when and where, at that time I was just the age of 26, 27, to tell that I am meditating, people will laugh at me. At time, 1977, at time of my young age, no one believed that I am meditating. So I be a laughing stock. I never mention, I spend the time with batchmates, very dynamic. No one knows that I am meditating. I live in the household, very small house, we 11 members, 10 family members, 11 family members, mother, father and father's elder brother. So I have no private life. We have no special rooms. We have no my own bed. I have no my own chair, my own desk. So under such circumstances, to be mindful and not to show the family members that I am meditator, it's a special type of a trick. I challenge, you don't know. You people are too much talking, telling that I'm a spiritual being, I'm meditating and blah, blah, blah. So ultimately you become a laughing stock. You are joke makers, universal jokers. Hide it as much as possible. We, among ourselves, no problem, because we all are in the same mad house now. We are all mad, we know mad. But at home, don't do it. If your partner, family member is so sharp, he can tackle. Otherwise, they don't know, they are not concerned. So I have to live in such a way. So after 30 years, I met my batchmates in Australia. They were amazing to hear that I am a monk. Because at that time I was such a troublemaker. No one can understand. I told that midst of you, I practiced 2 years. No one knows. So this is the way the Buddha employed the revolution among the Hindus. It is called non-coercive, non-reaction, unassuming life. You never react someone. If he is going to say something against you, you say that if it is okay for you, please carry on. I don't mind. I am not going to prove it or disprove it. That is none of my business. There is no selfishness, non-reaction, non-coercive, unassuming. If someone is going to tell me that I am wrong, I will say that according to your argument may be, but I am not going to tell that I am correct. Keep it to yourself, chaos. So this is, I know you people are very weak on that sense. You are living on other sides. You are going to satisfy other people, so never you will get satisfied, you will never satisfy the other party. I say therefore be mindful and mind your own business. Don't think about other people. They will give the impact as much as possible, but don't care. Do the necessary task, but don't go beyond that. Mind your own business. So it appears a little harsh, and specifically for the young girls and the boys, this is the golden rule. Otherwise people will never, they are not in that vibration. They are in a completely different vibration. Specifically countries like this. But even then, Richard Davidson, one of my favorite scientists, he has practiced 40 years daily. He is the best neuroscientist in the Massachusetts. He says, I started in 40 years ago, and daily I sit 1 hour in front of my fireplace, and that is my shrine room. No one knows. So do it in a regular way and don't let others know that I am practicing. Because mindfulness needs no any kind of outside science. Mind your own business. While you are brushing your teeth, be aware that I am brushing my teeth. While eating, don't talk with people. Just be aware that I am eating. No labels, nothing necessary. So that's a universal nature of the Buddhism as well as the Buddha's core teaching. There is no external sign. Can be just SMS, slowly, mindfully, silently. Even others are spying. It will take long time them to understand what I am doing. But instead if you are going to shout and tell, hey, don't speak, I am meditating, I am a meditator, therefore you must behave me, respect me like that and this and that, they will consider you as mad. It is natural, I think. I take that complainer side rather than my side, because that is nothing to show, nothing to tell others. Do it in such a way, no one can notice even you are mindful. And later, wherever you go, with that touch, you can control the situation. It's developing such authority, such a mastery. Whenever the Buddha used to come, all the other people used to say, don't talk, Buddha is coming. He don't like talking, be silent, right? They themselves get calm down, because that is the way the Buddha developed the mastery. He never claimed anything. That you wish to have the Buddha, maintain clarity, maintain purity, maintain healthy cleanliness and maintain silence. Otherwise Buddha will not come. So others has to behave accordingly. That's the way. So I saw it. Two teachers, when Jnanarama and Pandita Sayadaw, whenever they come, everyone becomes calm and quiet. They know. No nonsense, no jokes with these masters. Because of their mastery, their vibration is so powerful. That's called good vibration. They reach the audience very calm, quiet and mindfully. No one feel like joking, no one feel like talking due to their veterans, their capacity. But beginners, they don't have that much of advantage in the situation.
Okay. I just heard that you mentioning a friend of yours advising, don't marry, don't have a job.
And don't talk. Don't inform others that I am meditating.
Yeah. I understand why that way. So a person who marries and has a job has more hope of becoming mindful?
Yeah. Sure. But if you get a better partner, you are better off.
Okay.
And if you are married Catholic or Muslim, still you are better than a Buddhist.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay. Yes.
So they will respect. They will respect at least. The Buddhists are such a mad crop. They are living in their own thinking mind, they never practice.
The Sri Lankan Buddhists or?
All Buddhists. All Western are double mad.
Okay.
They are going to teach us. We being monks, they are teaching us how to walk and how to do. Bloody fools. Okay. Westerners, there is no difference. Exactly the same. And regarding the job, I did 6 years. I did it with a Norwegian company. I joined as assistant production manager, and I am reading at that time for my postgraduate. I had completed postgraduate. It took too much of time because of my lack of interest, and ultimately became a CEO. And one day the Sutta fellow, my director, managing director with the white clad, he came and sit on the ground and asked me to sit and talk. What is your secret? Anything given to me, I am successful. The labor management, security, research and development, foreign business, everything. At that time I was not so skillful to tell him. I told that is, I am trying to be mindful and one thing at a time and that done well. I don't get mixed up with all the kind of things. I select a priority, I give it, I am telling. I am doing this, don't disturb me, because once this is finished, I will do, because this is the priority. So ultimately it happened him to accept it. Luckily he also from a big family from the Norway, there are 6 family members. Within one generation they came up to that level, so he understands it. And not to tell is the worst case. We Buddhists are showing too much, telling we are observing precepts, we are doing dana, and we have to write and shout. All the walls are full of the donors. I have given this, I have given that, I am given this. So they more than doing meritorial deed, they want to shout. In mindfulness, do all the things but don't talk. Do your best. Don't tell anyone. For example, when I was in the university, I used to eat meat. We have the meal tickets. Eat meat, fish, vegetarian. I always take meat. So later, slowly I gave up and I became a vegetarian. So one of my best batchmates wanted to take me for an argument. He asked, why you have given up this meat and now we are going for vegetables? I told it is due to lack of my merits. I am an unfortunate person, that is why it happened to me. Otherwise I would have gone for merits, I am sorry. So he can't get the hook with me now. If I am going to say vegetarian is good and eating meat is bad, till tomorrow morning we have to talk and still the discussion is not finished. I told due to my bad luck I feel like that and therefore it's my misfortune. Finished. So they asked me why I am not going for parties. I am not going for tricks. Then I said I am not drinking, I am not eating these things, so therefore my household meal is better than the party. They are prepared for all the meals, for the beef and fish and drinks, so I don't find anything to eat there. So they discarded me. I became useless. I never say I am a meditator. I give a pragmatic answer in an ironic way. In an ironic way, hitting them in such a way, they don't feel. But I know you people are not skillful like me. I know it. It is not hopeless. Still you can continue. And you will develop the way of articulation, way of handling people, way of handling difficulties, way of handling questions, so that not to get hooked up with. Always you are slippery, very slippery. Don't have repercussions. Do not have regurgitation. Just that it is finished, it is finished. You are ready for the next event. So these are the Richard Davidson, he says, whether these qualities you are born with or that can be taught within a life. He says still it's a 50-50 doubtful. Whether these qualities you are born with, or you are heretic, you are genetic, or you have the karmic forces, or it can be taught in the management training life. It's a mixture. Yes.
Forgive me for asking this question, but this is just to understand myself. So, if I was to tell somebody that I don't eat meat because that would, like you were saying, because of my misfortune,
yeah.
Would I be breaking the 4th precept?
Please repeat the question.
Would I be breaking the 4th precept? Would that be
when you are telling someone?
So if I was to say that I don't eat meat because, I'm not as fortunate as you are, I don't have the taste for it or something like that,
yeah.
Would that not be like lying to them? Or?
No, because precepts has nothing to do with the beef eating. They are completely two different issues.
But I am giving an explanation.
So that is you are asking, you are entangling with another fool. end up no end. They will come out again and again. You don't have time to be mindful then. You have to keep on teaching bad of eating meat and good of vegetarians. It's utter nonsense. There's no such a thing. There's no such a thing. Buddha himself eat meat. Pandita Sayadaw gave 1.5 hours talk. We were in the first row. We are vegetarian. He told, I'm sorry for the vegetarianism. But don't say lying, don't lie. Buddha never told vegetarianism. It is nothing to talk because whatever available in the market, you are eating. But don't make philosophy out of that. You can eat or not eat, but don't profess it. You have no right, because other person has its own right. You have nothing to command or demand of others to this or that, because you have not proven it to yourself yet. They are your personal habits. Or likings and desires, you can keep it to yourself. You can tell I am eating or not, but you can't argue or tell others, this is the best, others is wrong. Yes.
You were mentioning that your brother or somebody who sits for 1 hour and be mindful, can't you be mindful all day instead of sitting in one place for 1 hour?
Yeah, that is the aim. Aim is to be mindful. Tittam charam nisidno va sayano va yavatassa vigata middo etan satin aditteya brahmametan viharan idamahu. Maybe you are sitting, standing, walking or lying down. As far as you are not in the deep sleep, if you are mindful, you are in a Brahma world. You are living in the pure abode, abiding. So that is the aim. So you have to start somewhere. And slowly you can understand. The day you understand, you become skillful, still the Buddha will remind you, Satadipateya sabbe dhamma. Whether you know or not, you are always mindful. Only thing is you don't know. Satadipateya sabbe dhamma. Each and everywhere, mindfulness is taking the upper hand. So if you are not appreciating it, or if you are not recognizing it, you will say, I am unmindful. As she mentioned that while you are walking, you get a prick or ant bite. But the mindfulness is there. Even if you are Buddhist or trained mindfulness, mindful practitioner or not, that is what does it call mindfulness. Immediately you become alert, aware, and consider this as your body knowledge rather than what you practice. Only practice is you are appreciating anything. You are appreciating, you are happy that even though body is at danger or some kind of a threat, but the mind is alert. First thing first. So that you are appreciating. So therefore, at last you will understand whether you are practicing or appreciating or not, the human mind is such an alert thing. Satadipateya sabbe dhamma. Anything happen under the light of mindfulness. The day you appreciate your mindfulness, the day you appreciate your vigilance, the day you appreciate your diligence, you will understand you are born with it. So therefore, try to have an hope to be mindful in the throughout the 24 hours a day. It is not impossible. It is something possible that specifically you have the potential.
So, Maha, could you explain Nissarana Bhavana and Ayatana Bhavana, external and internal?
So we'll take it into the Dhamma talk, because it's a huge subject. So whenever you do, I would put it in a simple way, simple answer. Each and every moment you are mindful, you are complete with Ayatana Bhavana, Nissarana Bhavana. Each and every thought, moment of mindfulness, you are utterly mastering Nissaranas and the Ayatana questions. So if you can make sure to be mindful 1 split second more. 1 split second more, each time you are developing the skill towards that kind of a detailed question. Answer is very simple one.
Can you help me, when you are talking or when somebody is talking, where do I have to keep my mindfulness?
I would say talking is the worst thing we can do.
When I'm listening, I'm sorry.
Listening. So listening, you have to either listen to the sound or to the content. If you are talking about, if you are listening to a general talk, you have to understand it is not looking, it is not smelling, it is not touching, it is not tasting, but the hearing. That means I am in the eardrum. That means you are aware, not seeing, not hearing, not smelling, not touching. But if you wish to be aware of the content, what is the content of there it is, you must not worry about the listening, you are into the subject matter. The example I can cite is, I went to Burma in 1993, I went to the Chami Yekta, that's Janakabivansa, and he gave an example. Mother bought the child to do Temperimankud Dulaba Papaja, and then he was a very bright boy. And after 2 months, 1 month after being the monastic or like a Samanera, he went back to the school. And that day he was utterly inefficient in the maths class. And then the teacher and the mother were so upset. And then asked the child, otherwise you are very good in the maths, today you are not grasping anything. He says, I was mindful, listening, not the content what the teacher says. Just listening, I am hearing. So he missed the bus. After a few days' time again, he came to the subject matter. So when you are listening, it's the best way to cut off your content. If you are listening to the content, you may be seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. You are only concerned the incoming information. Content, so 2 aspects, quality and quantity of listening. So you have to raise the question, specifically you are talking about the quantity of listening or quality of listening.
When you listen to both, right? You cannot separate.
Both. That is what it happens. So therefore, normal person without mindfulness, they may do it, but there is no consistency. So in mindfulness, one thing at a time, and that done well. So I ask the question in a separate way. Saido is talking, I am listening. I ask, when you are talking, we have to keep the mindfulness. He says, the vibration in the sound box. And the content is happening due to his past seasoning, the talks is happening, but he keeps the attention here. In listening, you have to keep the attention at your eardrum. So even though you are aware, you are mindful about listening, content is not assured. Because one after the other you are be alert on what is listened. But the content may be losing. So to be aware of the content, it is after establishing the listening aspect, the eardrum business, then only furtherance of that only you can go to the content of the listening.
There's always judgment that comes with it.
So whenever content is there, judgmental there. But when you are listening, you are aware about the normal listening, bird sounds or jet is going or someone is talking, non-judgmentally you can stop at that level. The quantity of listening is non-judgmental. Whenever it is come to the quality, the content, our mind is utterly getting involved. Mind is very judgmental. We are not listening to what he is talking. We are listening to what our mind is reverberating. Our mind is so talkative. It's very, very, very difficult task.
In your course, we have Sammasati, Samadhi, Vanaya. So are we developing this samasati for to attain like samadhi and panya? Is the idea developing sati?
When you are considering 37 factors of enlightenment, sati appears in 7 times. Starting one is kayanupassana, contemplation or mindfulness on the body. The last one is sammasati, the correct mindfulness, the broader mindfulness. So that is the postgraduate one. We are learning Montessori. We are teaching Montessori, beginner's mind. We try to just be aware of the body. And if the mind is ready and mature enough, it will go to the feelings. It will go to the mind. It will go to the other aspects. So mindfulness will be slowly evolving. So to go into the sammasati, how many minutes or how many aeons it is going to take, very difficult to predict. Only the responsibility we would like to give to the beginner is just be mindful about the bare attention. The beginner's mind, the sati matra, just about the body. Then mindfulness itself will lead you to the higher status. And this problem happens only to Buddhists. When non-Buddhists are trying to be mindful, they don't know anything. They just try to be mindful, ultimately mindfulness will lead. But all the Buddhists are corrupted with theory knowledge. Very difficult. It is not allowing mindfulness to grow in natural way. It is always pruning and cutting the roots and all kind of cultivation. So very difficult to put into the beginner's mind. So that is why there's a very nice book called, the Westerners, they know it, the Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by D.T. Suzuki, taken from the West. He is teaching the Chinese Buddhist people, Japanese people, always try to be innocent, always try to be straightforward, always try to be beginner's mind. Then very easy. It is proven when we are teaching very young children, grade 4, grade 5, non-Buddhists, sometimes cancer patients, sometimes sexually abused, sometimes drug addicted. They grasp it. Usually people outcast and telling that they are not normal beings and therefore they are not qualified to be mindful. There is no such a thing. They don't know what is the benefit of mindfulness, why should I be mindful. We just say, through mindful games, we give some hobbies, some tactics to play, to direct them to the mindfulness. Very simply they catch it.
When you do the walking meditation, you focus your attention on the step. When you have other sensations, do you try to ignore them and try to maintain that focus, or what do you do?
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. Sensation will lead you.
It's like, say, I'm stepping, I can feel the sand. Then the next, my focus will go to that. Then next, I might hear a bird. Then my focus goes there. And then the wind blows, you feel the wind. So the focus goes to there, because it's a touch. So do you try to keep bringing it back, or do you just experience it?
Bringing back is good, but to bring back, you have to understand you are not mindful. Are you sure when you are not mindful, you are aware that you are not mindful? So now we are walking. We are promised to maintain the mindfulness of step to step, or the bird sound happens. So now you are entertaining bird sounds. And now question is, am I to continue with the bird sounds or come back to the walking? Do you have that choice there?
Well, when you hear it, you recognize that your mind is gone there.
So that is, my question is, when you are not mindful, you are not in the step, Are you aware that you are not mindful?
Yes.
So, now the technical question. You are two situations. One thing is you are aware your mindfulness is on the state.
Yes.
Now second thing is you are aware your mindfulness is not in the state, but in the sounds.
Yes.
Which one is more efficient?
The outside sound was stronger, so that's why
No, I am asking two kinds of mindfulness. One thing is aware that it is mindful on the main organ. Other thing is aware that it is not on the mindfulness. And still be aware. Which awareness is more smart, more adventurous, more efficient?
I think what I experienced is that for few steps, the mindfulness on the setting is stronger. After a while, the other sounds take over, and then that's when I try to bring it back.
So when the sound taken over, you know it. Other time you know your mind is in the state. Which knowledge is more efficient, more meritorious, more skillful?
Keeping it on the step.
No. That is what I wanted to communicate. So I doubt whether I can do that communication within 2 days. If you always try to be here, you will never progress. Progress is, whenever you are not mindful, you know. But still I have a danger. I will allow you. When you are aware that you are not mindful, don't regret. Appreciate it as a sign of progress. Then you have option. Either you can come back to the mindfulness or you be there. There is a morality.
So if you know that your mind is focused on something else now, then you're not keeping the samadhi, you're not keeping the focus on the walking meditation.
Mindfulness has nothing to do with the focus and the samadhi. Mindfulness is a very specific mental concomitant. So you have to specifically understand the function of mindfulness and function of samadhi. So Buddhists completely misunderstood it. In terms of mindfulness, they try to be samadhi. So they are undermining mindfulness.
So I thought mindfulness is like knowing the changes that happen.
They are happening under the stage, on the stage of mindfulness. Mindfulness gives the stage, preparing the stage to mind to understand you are not mindful, you are not in the proper place, and you are not aware. The mindfulness is just making the ground clearance, or making the stage. Then you can do as you like. Mindfulness never take a decision. It will never give priority. It is just choiceless awareness. Evenly suspended attention. It's a quite radical one. That we never allow mindfulness to work in an innocent way. We fork fingers with our morality, with our knowledge, with our concentration, with our Buddhist ideas and kind of thing. So you are the hacker. You are disturbing the natural growth of mindfulness. So your example is very good. I usually don't take this kind of in the first day because it may be too much. But to tell you, whenever you are mindful and your awareness, and when you are not mindful and your awareness, the second one is the most adventurous. The second one is more skillful. Because you have option either to listen to the bird sound, but still you know it's the wrong thing. Or either you can come back to the primary object. Give this opportunity and see. All the people says, whenever you have two opportunities, human mind is naturally come back to the primary object. Isaac Newton says same thing, Karl Marx says same thing, the Buddha says same thing. Human mind is naturally good. But you have to, don't force, you have to let him keep the opportunity open, then mind is naturally come back to the... There is no religious interpretation, there is no ethical interpretation, there is no restraint, there is no diversion. That is natural way. Whenever you give a kick to a magnet, whatever it may be, ultimately it goes back to the north. That's the nature of the magnet. Our mind also, if you give a pure chance, mind naturally go to Nibbana. We are misdirecting. From morning to evening, we are misdirecting the mind, so mind is naturally on the way back, but we put into different tasks, different things. Ultimately you macerated, you are utterly tensed, utterly discouraged, utterly frustrated. Let the mind to just wave like a magnet, definitely it is going to north. That is being explained. Pabassaramidam bhikkave chittam agantuke upakkirite upakkirita. Oh my monk, everyone's mind is so glittering and glistering, it is mixed up with foreign defilements. Naturally mind is good.
What is Yoniso Manasikara?
Yoniso Manasikara is understanding mind has its own capacity. Give the chance to the mindfulness, don't put your knowledge. When you put your knowledge, it's worst. I say in Sinhala, kakka. Kakka. The natural behavior of the child is so beautiful. When you go trying to say you have to wear something and you have to eat in the proper place, and if you have to shit in the proper place and urinate in the proper place, finished. Child is very beautiful. It knows where to shit and where to urinate and where to eat. So by civilization only we are conditioning the child, and ultimately child utterly hating parents, utterly hating the teacher. It's a universal fact. Children are hating parents because unwantedly they are twisting. Because we are being twisted by our parents, we are passing the same punishment to the children. But I am happy I don't have children. So exactly the way, just give 5 minutes to the mind to play hell. Just sit, do nothing, just be aware. But you have to report it, otherwise you won't get the results. In walking also, just pacing up and down and see how the body is walking. Give the toothbrush to the mind, the body, hand, and see how it is brushing. Give the plate of rice to the hand and see how it is eating. Go under the shower and see how it is bathing. Everything known. Without your ego, without your manipulation, that would definitely happen. Beautiful, then you are really living, you are loving yourself. You associate yourself, not with the knowledge, but as a second, third person, you can observe yourself.
Most of the time, the mind is observed half the time when it's gone. And halfway only you realize, oh my gosh, what am I thinking or where am I?
Then what happens?
So at that moment I become mindful and it automatically comes
So half the time you are going out, half the time you are coming back. Your coming back part also, the beautiful part.
That's right.
That is, we have to appreciate. Don't worry about the going out. So if you are, the day you appreciate coming back time, home, back to home, you are already enlightened. If you know, if you talk only the way back home side, your writings will be beautiful, your talking will be beautiful, your appreciation of yourself will be beautiful, because it's an endowment, it's only possible for human beings. We are talking about going out mind. Instead, yes, it is there, but only talk, the coming back mind, it is natural. It is not depending on your femininity or masculinity or knowledge or wealth, Buddhist or non-Buddhist, ordained or non-ordained. No, it's a humanity. So you must try to see only the love spots in your life. See only the silver line in the dark cloud. Don't talk about the dark cloud. It is making the whole world dark. And all the dark people will around you then. When you are talking about the silver line and the good side, only the good people will come and very easy the path. So that is the importance of proper reporting. Okay, now we are going to, it's time up for the discussion. 2:30 to 3, we have a break and a little walking, and 3 o'clock we are coming for another sitting. Okay, thank you very much for listening. That's the end of the first discussion.